Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you're having a good one. What's good, what's good, what's good? So yeah, we got a lot of stuff. A lot of interesting stuff tonight. So tonight's question is interesting. What is the first U.S. state to offer a stable coin? That's right, a state-backed stable coin. Not even backed, it's their stable coin. Delaware, Nevada, Wyoming, or other. And if you say other, you got to put it down in the comments. And here's the other thing. Have you invested in yourself today? I need to know. So if you take the poll, if you finally want to chat it up, drop it in the comments. Let me know that you've actually invested in yourself today. Leroy Tice, what's good? That's awesome. That's what I want to hear. That is what I want to hear. I wish I had that horn from this DJ. It's like a loud horn. I forgot his name because I'm really not into him. But every now and then I want to hit a horn, just something like that. It's just me. So I'm a little hyped up. Got a quick visit from my big brother. So that was good. Hadn't seen him in a while. We've both been busy, been crazy busy. And so I'm just in a really good mood. Really good mood. Team is doing well, knocking some stuff out. I literally just had the last bite of a really good dinner. Washing it down with some cranberry juice. Just enjoying life right now. But let's get into this. U.S. House of Representatives are probably disappointing Tether right now. Why? The U.S. House of Representatives introduced a revised stablecoin bill requiring issuers to comply with federal regulations, establish a 1-to-1 backing of reserves, 1-to-1 backing, 1-to-1, and protect open source developers from prosecution. Wow. Wow. So, okay. That last one, I need to know what that means. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Are you making a reference to like the guy from Tornado Cash? What does that mean? So I have to get into that. And let's see. Hutanic, what's good? So what else do we have going on? That revised stablecoin bill is meant to go after one stablecoin. One stablecoin. And that's Tether. So basically what they're saying is they came around, they lost their mind for a minute, didn't go after Tether. I guess Tether didn't do enough kissing of the ring or whatever have you, but that's basically it. If I'm reading this correctly, if I get this right, this is the United States telling Tether, we no longer want you here. That's going to be a problem for the United States. The bulk of the rest of the world is using Tether. So you're trying to say that people here cannot buy USDT? Are you going to block USDT from centralized exchanges and then also try to block decentralized exchanges that leverage Tether? Is that also what you're going to do? Slippery slope. Slippery slope. What summit? You said the summit. Like what summit? You said Tether looks strong, but if that reads correctly, establish 1-to-1 backing reserves. Now, it doesn't mean that, so it could mean that, hey, you don't have to be pegged 1-to-1, but you have to have reserves to cover 1-to-1. To me, that's one and the same. You might have worded it different, but to me, that's one and the same. That's going to be a problem. I don't know about you, but I am not interested in only using US dollar or US based stablecoins. Because that's really what's going on here. That's really what I see. And they have enough votes to make that pass. And I'm like, ooh, that would get signed. That would get signed. How does that get enforced? Yo, Michael McCaskill, what's going on, brother? How's the book? How is the book? And have you gotten any rest? Mine is coming along fine. I got a little bit of rest. Putting some tweaks on that front cover. You know, the all-important front cover to make people look at it. Oh, you finished it. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's a good thing. Happy for you, man. Happy for you. But yeah, looking at that bill and what it reads right now, I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know that how Tether would get around that. I don't think they do. I don't think they do. I mean, because Tether would have to have $144 billion on hand in reserves. Wait a minute. I have not done my research. Hold on. Tether reserve amount. Tether might be in a good place there because Tether is saying they have it. Tether is saying they have it. From their website, it says they have it. So, and that, you know what? That could be it because they have been in talks with the big four consulting firms. So that math might be mathing. That math might be mathing. Not 100% sure yet, but it could be. I don't know how, but I broke a nail. Wow, that could have hurt. Yeah, but I know you don't believe Tether. A lot of people don't believe Tether. However, Tether's in talks with the big four accounting firms to actually do it. Now, where they are with those talks, I don't know. But this is the first time that they've actually spoken with those accounting firms. And in order to talk to those accounting firms, you at least have to be, able to talk. You know what I mean? Like you have to be in a certain state to be able for them to even have bother to have the conversation. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're pulling down $13 billion a quarter in profits, $13 billion a quarter in profits. Yeah, you're not going to say no to that meeting. You are not going to say no to that meeting. I mean, think about it. It would take 10 quarters. So what, 2.5 years at current rate? If they started from zero, right? 10 quarters and they would have the money to meet the laws necessary. I think Tether might have it. We won't know until they get audited and they can show it. And the other thing that they're making Tether do is that you'll have to abide by US regulations. Awesome. Hello, 8 Paws. Thank you for letting us know that you invested in yourself. Rick Ritchie didn't. And neither did Hutanic, sadly enough. I know that Michael McCaskill has, because he's been doing so. Because he finished his book. That's investing in yourself. So I think that's pretty cool. But the other two guys, they haven't said anything. So we're gonna put them in the corner until they actually let us know that they invested in themselves today. Actually, nope. I take that back. Rick Ritchie did say he invested in himself today. Every day like clockwork. He meant clockwork. He wrote clockwise, but he meant clockwork. You'd be able to see that typo if you're a big bagger and you logged into the no, you're under the corner, sir. You're under the corner. If you logged into Big Baggers and you saw it, it's right there. He replied to one of my comments, which is awesome. So not only did he really let me know there, which is what really matters. That's pretty cool. No, Hutanik, answer the question. Did you invest in yourself today? Period. Period, sir. Nobody wants to hear anything else. Nobody wants to hear anything else. I don't care that you hinted that you watched some summit. That could have been for 1 minute. I don't know. 2 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, I'm busting your chops. How are you feeling today, by the way? You getting better? And how was lunch? You said you went to lunch with some old folks. Oh, don't have to worry about that. Now, the next one I'm going to talk about, we should have seen this coming, and a lot of us have. Pi Network's native token, PI, has dropped, or Pi, has dropped 73% from its all-time high due to rising circulating supply. Shock. Like, my mom would say, clutch my pearls. Somebody has been sick and he's been watching Yoda, which is why he's speaking like that. And you know the new term is invest in yourself. So I don't know why you're still using the old term. I know you're still sick. Robitussin. Robitussin in your keyboard didn't understand the difference between research and investment. Got it. But thank you for letting us know. See, no corner. Look at that. Very simple stuff. But unclear tokenomics and ongoing skepticism around its utility and decentralization. Not even its utility. It's its decentralization. And the fact that those people dumped a whole lot of coin onto the market. Dump that much coin onto the market, it's only going to be worth that much. So you divide. Yeah, that's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. So yeah, I'm glad I never touched Pi Network. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people that made money off of Pi Network because it shot up real fast. But I'm wondering about all those people who got in a little bit later, who made a profit and said, oh, it's going to keep skyrocketing. It's going to keep skyrocketing. And then, boom. Lesson learned. Set a number for yourself. Reach back in, take your money. Warren Buffett, I think his number is 10%. Reach back in, take your money. Just saying. And then you have Polymarket. So back-to-back bad news or good news. Polymarket faced allegations of Oracle manipulation after suspicious shifts in political prediction markets. The platform denies any wrongdoing and has not responded to calls for transparency improvements. Why would you even? Marcus, thank you for letting us know that you invested in yourself. That's what's up. Now, why would you even? These are two projects that I'm kind of like, yeah, nah, I'm not. I mean, so let's look at Pi. I wouldn't get into Pi Network because number one, I don't know what the hell they do. That's one. Two, the tokenomics off the bat don't work. Insiders holding the bulk of the tokens, not a little bit, the bulk of the token. Did you think there wasn't going to be a dump? I'm not saying there was a pump, even though there was. And then there was the dump. I'm sorry. How's that working out for you? How is that working out for you? Just saying. So yeah, that one was never going to work for me. It was never going to be something that I was interested in. And now you have Polymarket. Here, I have a few problems with Polymarket. Forget about the numbers, forget about metrics. I have a problem with the gamification of real things, real subject matter. Bet. That's what this is. And so when you gamify something, you're taking the edge off of it. You're taking the seriousness out of it. You're making it smaller than what it is. Just another game. It's not. A lot of the subjects that they cover are not funny. They're serious, societal things. Let's bet on who's going to be the next president. And then let's a whole bunch of us vote for the person that's the underdog so we can win some money. Do you see how that goes? Sounds funny until it's not. Until you sit back and you realize, whoa, wait a minute. That's actually, wow. Maybe it didn't happen, but the fact is that it could. It could. How many people out there have gambling problems? So yeah, I don't like the gamification of certain things. Certain things should not be bet on. Politics, shouldn't be betting on that. Should not be betting on that. So instead of being a poll organization, they lean toward betting so they can make money. The gamification so they can make money. That's what happens. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling that. And then now we find out that there's some manipulation in a space that, I don't know, begs for manipulation. I don't, who's surprised? I'm waiting for one of you to raise your hand and say, oh my gosh, I'm shocked. I'd have to slap you into next Tuesday. Seriously. Nobody's going to be shocked. I'm not shocked by that. And these are just allegations. And some people will say, well, innocent until proven guilty. And I sit back and I just kind of go, no. No. Because you put yourself in a position for that. You put yourself in a position to get allegations. The odds are this. The odds are that. The odds, the odds, the odds. I don't like things that, that tell you about the odds, because when you say the odds, you actually are talking about betting, as opposed to pollsters say, well, this percentage of the people say this and this percentage of people say that. And then after the vote, you see, which side was lying and which side wasn't. But that's the gamification of so many different topics. That's why I'm not with it. So to say that there was manipulation, I mean, that business kind of begs for it. Kind of begs for it. Whenever you start putting odds on things, somebody's going to try to manipulate those odds. And that's where we are now. So yeah, I could care less. I'm not ever going to play with them. I'm not touching it. I'm not going near it. I'm not going to explore how they make their money in the different ways they make. Nope. No interest whatsoever. Pi Network. There's no way in the world anybody's going to convince me that it's not a pump and dump. Because you can't tell me that it didn't pump. It pumped like it pumped. What's going on, Cornell Johnson? Robinson, sorry, I'm thinking Johnson. I saw Son, and I'm sorry about that. I destroyed your name. I apologize. I heard someone say gambling is so common because the idea of saving your way to wealth is so far-fetched. Damn. Damn. Sadly, kind of true. Right? Because what's saving? Saving is giving your money to somebody else so that they can make money off your money. Investing is you making money off your money. No middleman, no nothing. You making money off your money. So I tell my kids, invest. Invest. I mean, yeah, you save a little bit for the bills, normal extras, like I want to go out to dinner tonight, something like that. Save for that. But long term, I want to be older, travel the world, retire early, that kind of thing. You invest for that. You invest for that. You really do. Right? So I'm wholehearted. I mean, it bothers me that so many people go for it. I mean, it's ridiculously popular. It's so popular that they talk about it on regular networks like it's a news source. Hey, what are they saying the odds are on this person winning that seat? Like it's nothing. You're literally talking about gambling, political seats. I mean, granted, it's out front, right? I mean, people think that's been manipulated and bet on and all that good stuff. But I mean, to actually have a business that thrives on those kinds of things, and then to be accepted. Well, Susie, what's Polymarket say? Had the head of the company on shows. Yeah. National shows showing up like, woohoo, look at me. Seriously? Now, I wouldn't be upset if Polymarket focused on other things outside of politics, money management. I want you to think about this for a minute. So why do people listen to analysts? And when analysts say they think that there's a X% chance of something happening, they're saying X% chance, but that can be equated to the odds of something happening, right? The difference is that they're doing the research to be able to say that. Polymarket is just asking a bunch of people, letting a whole bunch of people come in and put in their votes or whatever. Gamifying everything. Gamification is a revived way to keep people distracted, ignorant, and poor. Damn. Some jewels being dropped tonight. That's two back to back. Hutanik says, and this one ought to make you think. No, let me rephrase. If you're old enough, this will make you think. There was a time when the advice of grandparents of savings made sense, right? Your grandparents told you save your money, save your pennies, blah, blah, blah. They came out of a depression. Yep. If you're my age, you have somebody, you're only 2 generations away from somebody that lived through a generation, right? Lived through the depression. Two or three steps, right? And you could still hear the stories about what they had to do and so you're not that far away. They came out of a depression. We are going into one, or they say we could, not would, could. That's what I would say is could. If you're old enough, you understand it. If you're old enough, you understand it. If you're not old enough, you're going to look at that and you're like, somebody could literally go to some of these people and say the depression was fake. And a lot of these people will believe it. A lot of people say that World War II was fake. And they believe it. Why does it seem like somebody's in my backyard? Give me a second, folks. Just want to check this out on the cameras. See if I have to go outside and go slap somebody around. Because that wouldn't be cute. Oh, it's windy out. I know what it is. All right. But yeah, so you start to realize that some of these things that people are talking about are real. I think there are a lot of people that voted for the current regime that are in that FO moment. It's not that they're necessarily full-blown supporters, but they might be. I was just talking to my brother about it, that they might be, solo topic, right? Single topic voters, as they say. And so they're living with, holy moly, this is not what I expected. That's not how I'd manage the economy. I would manage the economy so that half the world hates us. Renegotiate things. Stop spending so much. I get it. But are you really doing what you said? That's the problem. Is right now we're all dealing with it. Why is the R word, recession, on the tip of a lot of people's tongues? I'm talking about industry experts. They're like, yeah, we're dancing with the recession. There are news articles out there that are saying if the current regime keeps doing what it's doing, they might go too far and push us dead into a recession. Like we're really close to it right now. And if they keep doing what they're doing, boo. So that's not me. Let me rephrase. It's not just me that's saying it. And those people are like, oh, well, the government's going to do this. The government's going to do that. The government. And I keep saying, government contracts are public information. Go look up government contracts and then go look to see if those contracts are coming through. Go look to see if those contracts are worth the money being paid. Start looking at that. I had a conversation, the CBO, I forgot what CBO stands for. US CBO. Congressional Budget Office. There you go. Because I'm old. I can't remember everything. Congressional Budget Office came out yesterday and said that, hey, was it last night or this morning? One of the two. They were like, hey, look, listen, we're going to reach the debt ceiling August, September timeframe. Current rate, it's August, September timeframe. So you have to have something. And nobody's really thinking about this. Nobody's really talking about this. But not actually passing a budget bill was a huge loss just now. Kicking the can down the road and you control all three branches, that's a huge loss. It's a huge loss. So by August, September, you've got to have something. And I'm kind of like, wow. Like, wow. People ask me, why do you talk about investing so much? This is why. These are things that are beyond our control. I cannot control what happens in Washington except to vote for who I think is going to do well. And when I realize that they don't do well, don't vote for them again. It's as simple as that. Don't vote for them again. There are a lot of people sitting back and realizing that I voted for somebody who says that they don't want to charge taxes to anybody that makes under under $150,000. Do the math on that, please. Somebody posted the other night that the bulk of the taxes are paid by people that make under a certain amount of money. Okay. Under $150,000, most Americans do not make $150,000. So that's going to cover a lot of people in this country. A lot of people. Do the math on those people not paying taxes anymore. Social Security, Medicaid, federal taxes. Now, that's just them not paying it. Now, go look at those businesses that are paying them. They're also not going to have to pay those matching taxes. What does that do to our deficit? Please tell me. Tell me. Wow me with this new math. Right? Then, layer on top of that, a $4.5 trillion tax cut for people. Spending, that's what that is. That's what that means. Spending. So we're going to spend more and collect less, because we all know they're not collecting from the wealthy, right? So we're going to spend more and collect less. What does that do economically to the dollar, to our economy? Then, what does that do to the global economy? Oh, we can't afford to give people money anymore. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Can't give you money anymore. It sucks. Think about all the countries we give money to so that we can kind of control and manipulate those countries. Imagine us not giving them money anymore. Who's giving away money right now? I give you two guesses, and I bet you the first one you say is wrong. It's China. It's China. China's all over Africa. Trying to make Chinese babies in Africa. That's right. Plant some roots in Africa. Why? Oh, natural minerals and stuff. Yeah. Untapped wealth. All that good stuff there. Where did China get that playbook? Oh, Western civilization. That's where they got that playbook from. China's economy isn't doing all that well, but they might be doing a little bit better than us. So you put all that together, and then you kind of sit there and you kind of do the math on it all, and you tell me if at the end of the day we come out better. That saving is the way to go, and investing is unnecessary. Yeah. Good lesson from your father. Okay, freezing your coffee, that's really smart. Depending on how you freeze it, if you're really good, that could actually be smart. Some people just like the bitterness of coffee. I like mine a little bit smoother, but yeah, no, that's actually not bad. Depending on how you drink your coffee, that's not bad. That's a smart idea. Make a pot, it's a good pot. Oh, put it into something that's going to freeze well. Yeah, I can see that. I could definitely see that. Heat it back up. You're in a good place. All right. But yeah, I just look at all the math that's out there. And then pile on top of that math manipulation. And I look at all that and I just say, yeah, better invest. Better invest. Because if you don't, my fear is my kids go out, they get a job, they save, and realize that Social Security net is no longer there. Whatever you make now, you're going to have to figure out how that's going to last you until then. Uncle taught me, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. Put that together with investing and you've got something great. Put that together with saving and them wanting you to live on a rent-a-thing life. Don't believe me? Don't believe me? All right. Let's walk through it. Best way to get a car, lease it. Unless you can buy it outright. Best way to get a car, lease it. If you own a business, that makes sense, right? Because you can write it off, you get the money back. You're doing all right. But for the average person, the average person doesn't own a business that they can write off a vehicle. So the cheapest way to get a car is to lease it because the monthly is low. So you're always leasing a new car. You think you're cool. I'm always leasing a new car. You're always paying. It's not how much you make. It's how much you keep. So if you're always paying out, you're not keeping all that much, right? It's got to serve a purpose. It's got to do something for you. Something. Just saying. That's a possibility. What Hutanik is saying is that in 2 weeks we'll know oil prices could bust the whole thing out. If oil goes up, the Fed will not lower rates. Yeah. But there's so many other factors that go into that. It's such a huge algorithm. There's so many things that can make the Fed not lower rates. So many things. And I want you to think about this. Right now, the market's being not artificially, but it's being manipulated to force the Fed to lower rates. Lowering rates, who does that help? I'm just saying. I'm not going to talk about that because that's a political statement. It has nothing to do with my money. That's why I skipped it. I don't want you to think I'm being rude. I skipped it for a reason. That's not a conversation I want to have. I think What's hurting my head right now is all the math that's being put in front of people, and so many people don't understand that math. They understand that, oh, I'm not going to have to pay taxes right now. Oh, I'm not going to have to pay taxes. Oh, that's freaking awesome. Most of those people are not going to save. They're going to spend. And then when they get older, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Oh, I'll start saving next year. Oh, I'll start saving next year. Oh, I'll start investing next year. And there's your problem. You could see that just as a balloon. You just see that just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You could see that. It doesn't have to happen for you to be able to see that simple math happen in front of you. That's why I tell you guys, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. I don't say save. You got to pay your monthly bills. That's normal stuff. A part of my normal bills is entertainment. I want to go out to dinner. I want to go to a amusement park. I want to take a vacation. I'm going to plan for those. I'm going to save for those. If it's a big vacation, I'm going to invest for that. Like if I want to take a cruise around the world, I'm going to invest for that. Now think about it. If I turn this into a regular job, right, that I can make enough money to live off of, when I take a cruise around the world, it's not going to matter. I'm still going to be able to work. Imagine. That would be crazy. Hutanic, that's exactly what I've been saying for a while. We'll just be broke at different levels. The people that are just saving, the people that aren't saving, obviously they're the lowest. People are just saving, they're going to be the next high up. People that are investing well, we're all still in the poor bucket. The distance between the haves and the have-nots is so great that unless you have Lady Luck sitting on your shoulder, guiding your hands, it's almost insurmountable. It can be handled, but for the bulk of the people out there, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So yeah, I think about that. More manipulation. Binance froze the $38 million that Web3 port was actually going to make in profit after manipulating MoveCoin. So they manipulated MoveCoin and then they dumped on retail investors. And Binance said, hold my beer. Thought you did something, huh? And they were like, nah, you're not getting that. So imagine. They fired the insider and they just snatched that $38 million from the team that thought they were going to make money. Ooh, good try is what Binance said. Good. Ooh. So close. But look at all these look at all these people that are just out there just trying to manipulate. Tell me that's not making you stop and think about it. Makes me think about it. You know what else makes me stop and think? Paul Atkins, he's the next person that's supposed to be SEC chair if he passes everything, right? Gets through everything. And he will. They're not going to be able to, nobody's going to be able to stop that. His current holdings, Coinbase, Grayscale trusts, and DeFi projects. And everybody's pointing to the same thing that they should be pointing to. Concerns over regulatory impartiality. How are you going to be trusted to not manipulate the market from the highest level? Go do some more research on BitGet and Hyperliquid. Yeah, there's a lot going on in that space. There was too much for me to even cover tonight. But yeah, that's another whole long rigmarole that I was just like, oh, I can't bring that to everybody. Can't bring that to everybody right now. And, I'm a little bit biased. If I think it's going to affect, people's bags, I really try to bring it. But then I know that there are going to be certain topics that we're going to dig into. And so I can't cover everything. I wish I could. I can't cover everything. So it's going to be great when everybody's on growmybag.tv, the new version, and everybody can like type out whole thoughts. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Instead of, they have enough room to actually say something out loud and start a conversation. And trust me, I will be paying attention because some of those conversations I'll bring it to the show. I'll be like, oh, you see this? You see that? You see that? Oh, let me put that as a bullet point. I'll put that as a bullet point. I will be doing that. I will absolutely be doing that. I thought you'd get a giggle out of that. XRP should top over $1,000 this cycle. That's funny. Whatever. He was joking. That's not real. That's not what he's saying. Because I would never say that. We're not gonna spread, funny news. I'll say it like that. We're not gonna spread funny points like that. He's joking. So something else happened today that I was paying attention to. Radium launched Launch Lab to go up against Pump.Fun. Pump.Fun launched PumpSwap to go up against Radium. Radium is still number one DEX on Solana, but these two companies are clearly battling it out. Something happened. Let me rephrase. I allege that something happened between those two camps. That's what I think. I think something happened between those two camps, and it's big. Hello, Elizabeth. I think that's your first time commenting here, right? We have a rule. Have you done any kind of research on this at all? Answer that for me. And some of the people are responding, but I want to know: have you done any research on this at all yourself? Like what exchanges have you done research on that might be helpful? And where are you from? Because what exchange somebody might recommend to you might not be the right exchange for your region. So that would also be helpful. Everybody, tonight's question, let's go over it one more time. What is the first US state to offer a stablecoin? Delaware, Nevada, Wyoming, other. And if it's other, put it in the comments. Somebody put other and didn't put it in the comments, or I haven't seen it. So if you're going to put other, please put it in the comments. That'd be gratefully appreciated. So looking at Radium and Pump, Pump.Fun, you got Launchpad, you got Pump.Fun, you got PumpSwap against Radium. What happened? I want to know what happened. Is it that Pump.Fun figured out how Radium was making money, and the way Radium was making money, they want in on it? And so Radium's like, oh, well, we can come up with a launch pad. Let's go do this. And who wins at the end? Solana, right? Right? Customizable meme coin creation tools and bonding curve options on Solana, aiming to reclaim market share after Pump.Fun's dominance. Yup. You missed that stablecoin news. There's a lot of stablecoin news. So, Elizabeth, I haven't seen the answer yet. So we need to know where you're from, and I'd like to know what exchanges you've done research on. Because I wouldn't answer that question. If without that information, I wouldn't answer that question. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Because without that information, the only answers you're going to get are from people that are going to tell you the exchanges they mess with or work with in their region. So, oh, you saw Stitch? Oh, okay. Great. So you have, which ones have you looked at and what region are you from? So that way we can give you, better advice. Because let's suppose you were in South Korea. I'm not really going to necessarily tell you about Kraken, right? We'd have to get into other exchanges that we would have to talk about. One other thing, where did you do your research? Because you can go to CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, and they actually have a listing of hundreds of exchanges that are out there. If you bought the crypto tracker, the Excel version of crypto tracker, that comes with a list of exchanges that we have. We'll update that when we launch it online too. But it'll actually tell you what the ranking is of all those exchanges. So that's something that you could actually get. You're in the U.S., so if you're in New York, you don't really have a lot of choices. I'll tell you that. Depending on what state you're in, there are tons of exchanges out there. Kraken, Coinbase. I would never use Gemini, but Gemini is an option. You have Kraken. I mean, I would if I'm not using Coinbase, I'd use Kraken. I'm not going to use any exchange that touts the idea of not leveraging KYC, know your customer, or AML, anti-money laundering rules that they get a skirt around that. I would never work with one of those because you could be shut down and shut out in a heartbeat. So that if you're in the United States, I wouldn't do that. I would also say that I would definitely go to one of those services like a CoinGecko, like a CoinMarketCap, to go figure out, okay, these are the top 5 exchanges, and see if they operate in my area. Binance.us is back working. You can now onboard US dollar again using Binance US, in case people didn't know that. I do have an account there. Haven't used it since before they stopped using the dollar. I don't use a lot of sexes. I know I can do Coinbase, and I'm pretty sure I can do Kraken. I'm pretty sure I have a Kraken account. I don't use it. But I do alternative things. Florida. You're with the flow. You have some stipulations there too, but you're probably open to almost any exchange in Florida. Like, I know you could use Binance. I know you can use Gemini. I know you can use Kraken. Obviously Coinbase. Do you not like Coinbase? Also, are you familiar with the difference between custodial wallets and non-custodial wallets? Because that might open you up to a bunch of things. So I'd be doing some research on that. That's what I'd be doing research on. Learn the difference between those is what I'd be looking at. And I have one more question for you. How long have you been watching the show? Because this is your first time you're commenting, I believe. Yeah, this is the first time you've been commenting. So welcome to the community, by the way. Thank you very much. And Hutanik should be happy because I do have the ability to put people on timeout, and I have never put anybody on timeout. I've blocked people, but I've never put anybody on timeout. He should be happy. It's because of him and Andrew Henson that we created the corner. Because I never put anybody in a corner. If I disagree with you, I don't care. That's fine. Because the disagreement that we have, I might learn something. One of us is going to learn something. That's a good thing. At least one of us is going to learn something. So I'm down with that. It's rudeness. It's rudeness, laughing at others, bullying, that kind of stuff. I don't put up with that. I have a sore spot for that. Let's get to the topic of the night. Actually, it's not even the topic of the night. Wyoming is the answer. 67% of you got it right. The first state in the United States to issue a stable coin, a stable coin issued by the state, is Wyoming. WYST. I guess it stands for Wyoming stable coin. So WIST. Weist, whatever, West, because it's a Wyoming. No, but it would be Weist if it was like that. But it's WYST. 12 votes, not bad, not bad at all, not bad at all. But yeah, so imagine. So again, I didn't even bother to check the tech that they used to do it. Here's why. Why are you issuing a stablecoin again? Huh? What is your stablecoin going to do that none of the other stablecoins can do? What? And what is your stablecoin backed by? Oh! Because the new law says it has to be 1-to-1 reserves. Elizabeth, thank you for that. Thank you for that. I greatly appreciate you watching for a long time. Thank you. And even more importantly, I thank you for actually coming out and commenting. There are a lot of people out there that just watch the show, been here for a minute, watch the show, and feel like they can't comment or feel they might ask something silly. There's nothing silly. Well, no, stop. I can be silly. And a few of the cast of characters within the community can be silly, but there's no silly question. We might hammer you on a question. Like I hammered you for, well, did you do any research on your own? You know, which ones do you like? What region are you in? Right? But that's not being silly. That's us saying, hey, look, listen, you might be able to find this information on your own. So if I have an idea about where you are, that might help us help you more. And we're all about trying to teach people how to do stuff. I don't necessarily want to give you the answer. I kind of want to teach a person how to fish. It tastes so much better when you do it yourself. So much better. Which reminds me, I have to go fishing with my dad this year. I have to find the time. Because, man, I get up crazy early every day. And to go fishing, you got to get up crazy early. And he lives about an hour away from my house. So I have to get up crazier early. Or get out there the previous night, spend the night, or whatever. Something. I got to figure it out. Because we do have to go fishing. No, you will learn more if you do the research and then bounce it off people. Trading Maverick. Oh, snap. Trading Maverick. Ooh, who are you again? Nah, just busting your chops. Speaking of silly, good evening. You see? You see how this is? The cast of characters are in this community for sure. Cast of characters. Sir, have you invested in yourself? As well as Elizabeth, have you invested in yourself today? Our rules around investing in yourself are, Rick Ritchie, thank you for that. Yeah, what summit? Hutanic, what summit? He's smart. You didn't answer the question. So Elizabeth, the rule about investing in yourself is, did you take the 15 minutes to invest in yourself to do investment research today? Because the first investment is you. We follow the GMB 3, do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Rick Ritchie, don't you want to slap him upside the head right now? Answer the question. Hold on, I'll be right back. That's foul. I haven't been able to catch the lives. Always catching up on them. Though. Cool. Yes, I'm investing in myself today. Awesome. Thank you very much for that. We need to know. We need to know these things. We need to know, are you investing in yourself? 15 minutes a day. It's just 15 minutes a day. It helps you learn. It helps you actually retain information that you can call upon when you're trying to figure something out. That's the big deal. That's why it's a big deal. That's why I push on it all the time. The early pioneers of pie have been selling. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the whole controversy right now, that they've just been dumping and dumping and dumping. The pump happened. There's no denying. And there's also no denying that the dump happened. Oh, the DC Blockchain Summit. Never heard of it, but thank you. Elizabeth, how can I say this politely? No, thank you. I had a conversation with somebody about people not wanting to chat, during the lives. And they said, listen, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to watch your lives. They're going to just watch your show, but they'll never comment. And I said, why? He goes, fear. Fear of being judged. Yeah. Which is why we have like as close to a zero tolerance policy here as possible. We don't put up with that. We don't allow people to shill coins. Like even my OGs, like they'll say something about a coin and I'll be like, oh, I know you meant to say something else about that coin. I know you meant to add something about that coin and be like, oh yeah, no, I meant to say. Because we don't do that. We don't shill coins. We don't put down other people for how they manage their bags, because we each have our own bags, right? And how we manage our bags is how we manage our respective bags. So I'm not going to judge you based on how you manage your bags. You're going to do what you do. You're going to do what you do. Right? We only judge you based on, well, are you judging other people? Are you being mean? Are you bullying? Somebody made a comment one time a long time ago. I didn't even talk about it. I while I was talking, I moved my mouse and I freaking blocked them from the community. Not having it. But yeah, you can rest assured, if you have a question, we might tell you to go do some research, but we're not going to judge you on that question. And we're not telling you to go do research because, we think your question is stupid. We're telling you to go do the research because we think that you're capable of doing the research, and we'll even try to tell you where you can go do that research. Hutanik was being nice, and he was like, oh, Kraken. But a little too fast, because Kraken isn't in every country out there. What happens if you're not from here? From the United States? What happens if you're in a state where Kraken doesn't do business? It's a problem. Right? It's my mom letting me know she's home. So yeah, we're not going to judge you based on those things. And we actually appreciate people asking what they think are silly questions. You want to know why? A lot of people out there, and I put it in my book, a lot of people out there are doing some really crazy things when it comes to investments, but they actually don't know the fundamentals behind it all. So sometimes a question that's really basic helps to remind people that you might not know this, but I have a question on it. Ask it. Feel comfortable to ask that question. I'm not going to judge you. And if somebody does, either I'm going to come down on them or one of the other community members is going to come down on them. And I can tell you now, I'm nicer than they are. Like, for real. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions here. This is a safe space. And if somebody comes at you, I'm going to go at them. That's how we roll. Anyway, every coin pumps and dumps in the early stages. No, sir. No, that's not true. That's not true. You can have big rises and big falls, but that doesn't mean that it was pumped to be dumped. Pi Network is showing a lot of signs that this is a pump to then be dumped. There are a lot of OG coins out there, old school coins out there, that started off, had a skyrocket up because back then, that's the way it was. So they skyrocketed up and they shoot back down. And now when I do the GMB X factor for them, I'm like, oh, they're not going to hit that GMB X factor for if we're still doing cycles, they got a few cycles to go. Right? That's what happens. But this one seems more like a lot of effort went into pumping up this coin. And then a massive dump onto retail. Massive dump. So I hear what you're saying, and I understand it to a certain extent. But I'm not going to put the label of pump and dump on all the other coins out there that got in on the craze because they came in at the right time. And then when everything dropped, they dropped too. And now they're just skidding along doing what they do. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. A pump and dump is made for a pump and made for a dump. I have crypto problems far worse than gambling. I hope that's not true. I hope you're okay. If you ever need to have a conversation, you're a big bagger. I'll try to find some time to sit and talk with you. That's interesting. What I enjoy most is hearing you when you send some. Elizabeth wins the evening. I couldn't even finish the sentence. What I love the most is hearing you when you send someone to sit in the corner. So you are familiar with Hutanic, Rick Ritchie, and a few of the others. They live there. They live there. But usually when I'm sending somebody to corner, it's because they crack me up or something like that. I'm normally not sending somebody to corner like for real, and they know it. That's what makes it funny. And certain people, they bring goodies to the corner. Right now, the Grow My Bag corner has the GMB crypto corner or Bad People's corner. I forgot what Rick Henson called it. But the corner now has, I'm pretty sure it has a refrigerator. I know it's got a wet bar, and it definitely has a couch because Rick Ritchie brought that. Was it yesterday, Rick, that you brought the couch? Or was it the day before? I thought it was yesterday that you got the couch. So yeah, I'm selling all my crypto around August. I'm not holding for another 4 years. Bruh, Trading Maverick, now you're going to the corner right now. You absolutely wind up in the corner because this is not the Breakfast Club. Yeah, you should know better. Rick Ritchie and Hutanic, we might want to move that to the Big Bagger section. So it's a little bit more of a private conversation because the rest of us are going to be interested and probably want to chime in and help out and all that stuff. But we probably don't want to do it in public right here. We probably want to move that to the Big Bagger section. Just saying. Yeah, I think Elizabeth is gearing up to get sent to the corner too. She's definitely in the corner right now because that was funny. PAX G is a good move, my brother. It's a good move. I like that one. Big Zane, how are you? Is this your first time chatting? It is your first time chatting. Welcome to the community. We have rules. So the rules are if you want to come to, it seems like you're here to pump coins because that's 2 coins that you rattled off real fast. But Zcash is old, so I don't know that you're pumping. All right, so let's get to the first one. The first one is we've got rules before we talk about coins. The first one that we have is what's the coin market cap ranking? What's the purpose of the coin? Like, give me their dominant use case. What's their market cap? Right? You've got to tell us that you've done enough research on the coin to actually, care. Because what you're asking us is for an opinion if we have one about a particular coin, and we want to know that we're having a conversation with somebody that's at least done the homework. You know what I mean? To be able to have that conversation. Zcash has been around for a long time. I'm not even going to get into that one. But so Big Sane, so you understand where we're coming from, right? With doing that minimum of research, right? Because we start off with the GMB3 here. The number one thing is do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately, right? And the whole idea is that to do your own research, I'm asking you to invest in yourself 15 minutes a day of doing investment research. That's what I'm asking. So if you're doing that, that means that you should be able to give all of us that minimum amount of information on a given coin, so that we can say, oh, so you've done some research on it. You're not just trying to pump us for information, or you're not trying to skip what you're supposed to do to get to absolutely invest deliberately. That's the big deal. Yes, I do, and love the rules because crypto seems like a pump and dump if you are shilling. Yep. So now you know why I jumped all over you when it was like, well, man, are you here to shill or, because if we don't, then we'll have a whole bunch of people here that trying to shill coins. And yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that here. We don't shill coins. If you notice, we don't, you know what? We actually don't tell you what to buy. We'll tell you what we're investing in, what we're doing. When we really have a conversation about a coin, when we really break things down about a coin, it's in the big baggers. It's in the big baggers members. That's where we really break down coins. We've broken down I want to say 13, 14 coins. And when I say break down, I mean people have done big research on these coins. Because what they're saying is they're saying to their big baggers, to their fellow big baggers is, I checked out this coin and I think it's really good. And I invested in it and I happen to be doing well. I wanted to share that with the group. Or the other side is, hey, I've done a lot of research on this coin. This is what I found. What do you guys think? I'm not sure. Those are the two ways that people bring coins to the table, to big baggers. And then we take a deep dive. Sometimes that deep dive has us come back to the next big bagger meeting and say, okay, I had a chance to do some research on this, blah, 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 blah. As a big bagger now, we don't have to wait until the next big bagger meeting. If we have a conversation, we can actually go to the new website and hit the big baggers feed and actually have a conversation there and not have to wait until the next big bagger meeting. So that's what we're doing right there. And Big Sane, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. We're really trying to get people. I'm trying to teach people how to fish. We're all trying to teach each other how to fish. Which is so what hooks are you doing? Are you using a lure? What kind of lure? You know what I mean? What kind of rod you're using for what kind of fish and blah, 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 blah. What kind of line are you using? What's the weight on it? Yada, yada, yada. It's all that. It's all that. So depending on, where people are, maybe they just want to be, a regular member, which is a bagger. And then other people want to be big baggers because they want to try to do big things. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's a semi-private coin if turned on. Are you talking about Zcash? Yeah. If you turn it on. But they're privacy tokens. It's tough. I will say that. If you're trying to do something private, then it's not just the token that you're using that you need to do research on. I'll say it like that. And I'd be very careful doing that research. I'd be very careful. I'd be, I would tell people you want to use secure lines, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Some places you can't get to without using a VPN. Yeah. If it's on the internet, you can get there. You just have to know how. You just have to know how. That's all it is. A dark web, you can get there. You just have to know how. You know what I mean? There's stuff. There's stuff. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, hit the like button, right? Hit the likes. Let's get more people involved. And something else that I want to do. I really want people to learn. And so updates are the book. I'm hoping the book will be out by the end of April. I know it was supposed to be out by the end of March, but it'll be out by the end of April. Had some holdups on the book cover. Went through a few iterations. I wasn't happy, and then My designer now came up with a design, and I'm kind of like, ooh, and that could be the design. That could be the one right there. That could be the one. So looking at that, so I'm thinking by the end of April we'll have the book out. Definitely by the before then we'll have the website up and running. We're turning on the payment system. For all those that are wondering, of course, you come to the site, you become a member, either a $12 a year member, which is a basic bagger. Then you have the big baggers at $120 a year. But we have a payment system that we've incorporated. Except that here's the thing: the payment system that we built it so that it can be a standalone payment system, and we can attach it to any other website that's out there hosted by a third party, including our own. So that's the model that we're using to make sure that we can actually offer those separated services, because we also host that whole website on our hosting platform. And a part of that hosting platform is the ability to build certain kinds of websites, including e-commerce. E-commerce includes obviously crypto, PayPal, credit cards. And we're talking to others for a few other things. For the big baggers that are out there, next big bagger meeting, I will have more to discuss with you first in terms of what features are coming and things like that, like I always do. So that's where we are. That's the quick update on growmybag.tv. So right now we're rocking and rolling with the current site. The new site is much faster. It's a bit more fun. We need more people to bang on it. So all my big baggers out there, I need you to bang on the new site. All right, need you to get there. Flare is a decentralized Oracle coin that brings DeFi to XRP, Doge, and BTC, wrapping in F asset form. It's number 75 on CMC. I do not hold a bag of Flare. I did some light research on Flare a while ago and didn't feel like I needed to create a slot for it. The way I manage my assets is I have a certain number of slots, and in those slots I have, obviously different coins. And then for Flare, I'd have to create a new slot, and I didn't think it rose to the occasion for me to create a new slot. So that's my thought on Flare. I have nothing against it. It just wasn't for me. Fox Savage Gaming, is this stream pre-recorded? It used to be, but this is a live. I try to do lives every night. Every night during the week. I try to do a live every Sunday. Where you've moved from pre-recorded shows in the morning to live shows. So even if I have to leave early or I'm a little bit late, if I have to leave early, the live in the morning is at 5:30. If I have to leave early, get to clients. Otherwise, it's at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those are the times I'm talking about, always Eastern Standard Time. Even if I'm traveling, if I'm in another country, I'll tell you the time zone and the time according to that time zone and how it translates into Eastern Standard Time, since that's where I'm from. But that's how I do it. That's how I do it. Wow, that's how I do it. I posted a link in Big Bagger comments on the site. Just want to know if you can open it. I'll go take a look right now. No, you're not going to be able to open it because it's a PDF coming from your phone. And because it's not coming from a site, it's not going to work. We don't have that live. So we'd be able to copy that, but it's going to your D drive. So that's not going to work, sir. We also don't have links turned on yet. We want to do a couple of things to secure the links. So we don't have links turned on yet, but I do see you. Thank you for posting that. But yeah, it's actually calling a document. I'm not going to say what the document is. Obviously, it's for big baggers. But it's calling a document from your D drive. You would need to tell us where on the internet to go get it and post that link. Cool. Thank you, Leroy. Thank you, Rick Ritchie, for responding to that. Hutanic. Thank you. Hope you're feeling better. Everybody, this is Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. Smash the likes. Definitely get more people to come over. We're trying to do a lot of things here. And as well as always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And always thank you for your trust. I greatly appreciate all of you. Have a great night. Bye-bye.